yeah, as I say, I learned from the karma of my life, of what shaped me and made me go down certain ways. And I realized that fighting was, and fear, my battle with fear was like something that was a route that I had to kind of go down. And fighting, I seen as a way I could help people, was through fighting. I could inspire people, and then I could help them overcome their battle with fear. You know, because fear is not necessarily a negative thing. I just find fear, like over not succumbing to fear, is when it becomes negative. And I think fear
Fear
can teach us a
is
lot.
fear keeps us
Yeah,
alive.
yeah,
It's a
exactly.
natural instinct. You know, it's like, for people to say I'm not scared is stupid. But
Yeah,
fear is natural. But what courage is, as far as I'm concerned, is doing it in the presence of fear anyway. You know,
yeah, man. Yeah,
you fear something, you know you're scared of it, but you don't allow it to overcome you, and you take that step. And you
yeah,
might fail, you might succeed. It doesn't matter. But the very fact that you've taken that step towards overcoming it means even if you don't succeed in the outcome, you've still succeeded in a certain way because you took steps that most people won't. And I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's what people need to start looking at intrinsically. You know, you seem to be a very introspective person. You seem to like
yeah,
go inside yourself an awful lot. I'm not saying, you know, because you're always cautious about religion and this thing, but
yeah,
your spiritual beliefs, what would they be? They seem like very like Buddhist to me, almost like a sort of.
yeah. Like I don't. I think, like, again, like, words. I'm careful about what words I use, because I'm like I was raised atheist, for one, because of my Northern Irish family, and they were just done with religion. They moved to England to get away from all the shit, like, and for work, like, but so I was raised very atheist. And but I kind of, as I said, I awoke, and when I awoke, there was I realized that like, I don't like to say the word God. I said it in a fight one time, you know, but really, like, my view of God is just a
Universe.
greatness. Yes,
Universe.
the universe, exactly.
Yes.
You know,
I'm
and like, we're but like thoughts. Like, each one of us, our energy form is literally like a thought of God.
Oh, you
Do
and
you
I are
get
going
me?
to get on so well here, mate. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, because I'm a DMT head. I've done DMT so many times in
yeah,
my life. I've experienced the fifth dimension. I've met the entities.
yeah,
I'm doing
man.
ayahuasca soon. You know, I'm big into
Oh,
that journey.
wicked.
I'm big into the
Yeah.
spiritual journey. And I was atheist. I was like, fuck Jesus, fuck God, fuck this all. I hate this all. Go fuck yourself. That's who I was. Like, because I
Yeah,
just can't stop it. What I realized I hated was it wasn't God, shall we say, but it was more the people who represented God, like the DUP.
yeah,
I call them the
yeah,
Pharisees of the
yeah,
Christians today, because they like to profess their love of God, but they don't act
yeah,
Christ-like. And I've always said, see if someone believes like it's Christian and they act Christ-like they act the way Jesus taught. I
yeah,
respect them so much, because the teachings of Jesus is actually, if you take away the woo woo stuff and you
yeah,
actually just listen to what the words are, it's a declaration of how to live. You
yeah,
know,
exactly.
the wording and what he says is very
Yeah,
intelligent. It's just that I think it's been manipulated, and this has
yeah,
taken
yeah,
me years of. I was a turbo Catholic. You know, I was an altar boy. I was born
yeah,
into that, and then I started questioning things, and no one gave me an answer. And I
yeah.
started real, and then I can remember actually getting detention in third year. I think it was Miss McBride,
We're
Miss
asking
McBride,
questions.
yeah, for asking a simple
Yeah,
question. And I got detention, and that was she was the reason why I became atheist. Her
yeah,
refusal to actually articulate an answer that could be explained to someone my age. I was only 12 or 13.
yeah,
She started me on the journey of this is not right.
yeah,
There's something not right. And from that point, I became atheist. But then I done DMT. I started doing lots of drugs, acid, mushrooms, and I started
yeah.
seeing these things. And it
They're
just,
spirit plants. They're not drugs. They're
yeah,
spirit
well,
plants.
you're doing something. Actually, as joking you say, you're
Yeah,
100% right. They're not drugs.
yeah,
They're
man.
because if you live in the Amazon, they're
Yeah,
medicine.
yeah.
It's the
That's
culture we live
exactly
in
what they are. Yeah,
today. The
yeah,
culture we live in today, the governments who do not want us to be awoke, who do not want
yeah,
us to see these things and to question,
yeah.
they demonize them. They call them drugs. They
That's why
say,
they're illegal. Yeah, that's why they're
yes,
illegal. Yeah,
it's like drinks legal. Why is drink legal? Why is
yeah,
tobacco legal? Because
yeah.
they suppress your vibrations. Do you
They
know?
keep you there. They keep you locked down
Yeah,
into that lower chakra. Yeah,
exactly,
man.
exactly. I
Stuck
think
on the great wheel.
we're going to have a good talk here today, boy. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, this is going to
yeah,
go down. This is not going to be about
yeah,
MMA.
yeah, man.
We'll try. We're definitely going to come back to this subject because I really want to talk about it, but someone who has an alternative view as opposed to getting fucked up, dude. Because I would never do them to get fucked up. I did when I was younger,
Yeah,
but
me
now
too.
I would do them only if it's so. If I want a message, if I've got an answer, if I've got a question, I would take DMT. I would take mushrooms, and I
You don't
wouldn't.
mess with mushrooms, man, because like, yeah, you're not like, oh, I'm just gonna go and take some mushrooms, man. You'd be like, oh shit, I didn't want him to go there.
Listen, I
I didn't
have
want to
been
address the
there.
problem.
I have been there. I've also been in a place where I've done acid one time.
Yeah.
It must have been last year actually. But we've done acid, and we thought it'd be a great idea to get in the hot tub in a lightning storm. And we're sitting in the hot tub in a lightning storm, and there's satellite dishes flying above our heads and trees.
Yeah.
And we're just going, this is awesome, isn't it? And
You
then
might have seen my post there like a few weeks ago about me getting lost in the woods. Well, I've done some mushrooms and I went for a walk in the woods, right? And I basically thought, okay, I had my dog with me, and I was like, I was just so like taken in by all the little the spirals, you know, like the Celtic spirals.
yeah.
Everything was connected, and I just seen these spirals for everything, and I was like, I just follow Zulu, my dog. I was like, I let him lead me, like, so I just let the dog lead me. He was following deer or something, I don't know. And I did not know which way was which, and oh my god! And then I went down into the lower vibrations.
You're hugging a tree.
I was like, yeah, but I learned a lot. You have to die, man. I died in that woods, man, and I was like, I learned about so I was stuck in bog up into my knees, and I was just worrying about where I was, and you know, ringing the guards or something to try and find me. And I was like, come on, Ben, just breathe. That again, back to martial arts, man. I was like, breathe. So I just controlled my breathing, just because I couldn't think. I was panicking, you know. And then I was like, all right, water, like water only flows downhill. And I was stuck to my knees in water, so I kind of just I climb uphill, and then I could see better than, even though it was pitch black at night. And then
fuck, it was night.
Yeah, oh, it was pitch black. Yeah, oh man.
Any grams you take?
Yeah, and then I found like a familiar spot. Like I found like there's these posts in the woods beside us. It's a big deciduous forest, lovely. And but there's these pillars so that people can navigate in the woods, like, and I found one of them, and I was like, that was like the sparkle of hope for me. I was like, oh my God, I familiar sight. But yeah, and then I kind of found a light. I followed this light, and it led me to a farmhouse. And I remember like finding the fence. This farm was like fortified, and I was like thinking, oh my God, I don't want to scare these farmers, get shot or something, you know, like black man with a big white dog coming out.
Don't be alarmed, we're Negroes. Like bad boys.
Yeah, so I was like trying to sneak outside the like light spectrum so they didn't see me, like, you know. And yeah, but it was great experience.
Have you tried ayahuasca or DMT?
No, DMT, yeah. Ayahuasca, I really would love to try that. Like,
we're going to do it as soon as lockdown's over. We're going to do it.
Yeah,
that's my partner. I've been saying, like, what I do is every year I put a jar out, and if I spend money, I put the pound coins and £5 notes and 50p's into a jar, and then at the end of the year, I just use that, and the two of us use that. We're going to use that to do a trip or something, rather than buy ourselves a Christmas present.
Yeah,
we just use that to have an experience. So this experience is going to be we're going to be ayahuasca, and we want to do the ayahuasca journey, and I want to do 3 journeys of it and see, because I've done DMT well over 150 times. Countless times. I've done it so many times, and every time
it's not long enough though, is it? It's like DMT is like boom, you're somewhere else, and then you're kind of coming back. But ayahuasca is meant to be like similar but long. It's
apparently she's meant to knock, Mother Ayahuasca is meant to knock the bollocks out of you the first trip.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. Like, I'm dreading the first journey big time, but I suppose if I'm dreading it, then I'm putting it out to the universe, and I'm going to get that back for all.
Yeah.
One thing I learned about DMT is it really exposes you to understanding that you are not in control of anything. Control is an illusion. Like, when DMT wants to take you where it wants to take you, you have to go. And if you resist, it's going to be even worse.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I've learned from it. And I've had some profound experiences. Like I had one really, really, really crazy experience and it was horrific, but it was one of
Yeah.
the most enlightening experiences. About 2 weeks later, I realized what the message was.
Hmm.
For anyone who hasn't done DMT, there always seems to be a message contained within the journey. And I don't care what
Yeah.
anyone says, you do go to a different dimension.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who you've met, but I met a wee Hindu dude. I always meet this wee Hindu guy that he's wee tiny guy beard, and I meet a ball of light. And I
Yeah.
know she's a feminine entity. I don't know what I've never seen her, but I know she's feminine. And she
Yeah.
always seems to guide me. And I meet this jester guy. He's a really malevolent. Um, I don't like him. Every time I meet him, he freaks me out. He does trick. He plays my mind, and it's like it's almost like there's bad intentions behind him or something. I don't know what
Mhm.
it is, but when I meet him, I feel this fear,
Yeah.
and then I end up disappearing from him. And so a lot of times I'll come out of it. But there's this one time I took it and I lost in the trip. I lost everything. I was lying on the floor naked in my bedroom, and I'm not going to mention names, but there's a well-known, for something like this is crazy. There was a well-known local personal trainer was commentating on my trip, and it was like had all these things like on
Yeah.
top of me. There was hundreds of them, and they were all filming, and I was being cast out to social media everywhere, and everyone, all my friends, all my members, all my family could see this happening. And then my
Yeah.
parents came along, and they held me up and they took me away. And my ex-partner, the mother of my children, she was holding my kids behind her back, and she was shaking her head, really angry at me. And I was trying to cry, will you let me see my kids? And they wouldn't. And
Yeah.
then I woke out of the trip and I started freaking out. And I looked through my phone and I was waiting to see all these messages from the ex going, oh, I am in so much shit here, fucking lose the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took me about 10 minutes to realize I was still actually tripping, and I wasn't even out of the trip yet. That was just me tripping. And then I came out of the trip and I was like, oh, sweet fucking Jesus, thank God that's over. And I was there crying. It was horrific. But then I realized the message was that I was spending so much time on social media that
Yeah.
I was at risk of losing everything.
Yeah.
You know, and it helped me get off the addiction of social media to a point where I could control it. Because at that point, I think I was desperate to get my business built up, and all this shit was happening in my life, and there was a lot of bad things happening, and it was just overwhelming me.
Yeah.
So, although it was a horrific experience, it was a life-changing experience.
Yeah. 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 It does that. You never know what you're gonna get. Like it kind of, as you say, you're not in control.
No,
I do think you can control it though. Like when I was doing DMT one time, because I wasn't in control so many times, I thought when I did it first, I was like, I'm gonna control this and see and I basically did. And I kind of controlled where my intentions were, where it was taking me. And I also learned to think I managed to because it's such a short experience with the DMT, like maybe 10 minutes. I was able to prolong it, and it
right?
made me think about so basically while I was in, it showed me like a position that I could put my body in, almost like a yoga position, where it would open up my pineal gland, my mind's eye. And I was able to stay in that consciousness, in that higher vibration for longer. And I was able to even come out of it and then go back into it, maybe write stuff down that I was thinking. So I do think you can. I think, again, people I think we've lost abilities. Hindus, you're talking about Hindus would do all the mantras, the chanting and
Yep.
stuff. And I think these are all tools. The spirit plants are a tool to straight away, boom, hit that crown chakra. But there's other tools out there like the chanting,
Breathing.
and martial arts. Even martial
Yeah.
arts it breaks down the ego. It brings you into the present, because you can't be thinking about the future or the past when you're being punched in the face or somebody's trying to choke you unconscious.